tell the people about the musical disc coming your way.
Big Deal Sounds present Dub Stories Online Limited Series. Thursdays at 9 p.m. GMT plus 3.
Yo.
Yeah, Bobby.
What's good, fam?
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah,
Big
good
deal.
Yeah. Greetings, brother.
It's all love, fam.
Yeah, give thanks for the link.
Oh, you good?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Wake up, man. Let's go.
So let's go, Bobby. So let's start it off. I want to know this whole story behind Bobby Konders, where it all began, where you grew up, how you came into contact with the music, how you picked it up. Let's go.
All right. So here's the story on Bobby Konders. Bobby Konders, like, as a DJ, was a big DJ in New York, probably starting in the late 80s. All right. I lived in various places in New York. I didn't, like, in the middle 80s, I didn't really have nowhere to live, you know?
Yeah.
My family was living somewhere else in America, so I didn't really have nowhere to live. So I lived on a couple friends' couches. Then I was living in the projects and various places until I finally got my own little apartment. I got hired by WBLS, right, which is a radio station around 85, 86. I started producing and DJing, but this is before I started Massive B. And I was playing American music, house music, a little hip hop, a little reggae, right? And then I got my name's, I produced a couple good songs. Actually, I produced the house music with Muda Baruka called This Poem. It did really well. And that was around 1990. But I always had a passion and love for reggae. Even in my American sets, wherever I toured the world, I would play some dancehall. So I just started my sound around 91, 92. Straight hardcore reggae dancehall, you know, produced. And I started, the first set of artists I produced was Half Pint, Nicodemus, and Ina Kamosi, and an old Rasta artist by the name of Little Roy. And people may know Little Roy, he's the writer of Tribal War and Prophecy, which other people got very popular off of singing his songs. And then I worked with Louis Rankin, Shaggy, Red Fox early, you know, they were all in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And then the sound started taking off, and I met a young man named Jabba, who was a teenager at the time. I brought him on the sound, and you know, I left BLS and went to Hot 97, Funk Master Flex, because I was doing real well in the streets, and my name was ringing off because I produced some big songs in 92. A reggae hip hop called Mac Daddy. 93 Super Cat links me, and I remixed Don Dada and Ghetto Red Hot, the hip hop remixes with Salam Remy, and they took, you know, America by storm. You know what I'm saying? It was real big. And we're on Hot 97, which is the big hip hop station now, but they were just starting out back then. And Jabba was developing because, you know, as a hardcore sound, basically, especially a Jamaican sound, like in 2020, I could talk, but in 1993, they don't want to hear no Yankee on the mic. They want to hear a real ragamuffin voice, yard voice, you know, right? You know, that old Rory Glamour Wayne style, you know. They set the trend. So Jabba was the young man I started, and he developed into being his own star. And then as the years progressed, Master B, the record label and the sound was always booked out like 5 nights of the week. You know what I'm saying? We're playing in all the top parties, trendy parties, raga parties, soundboy parties, all over the place, working with everybody. King Addies, LP, Earth Ruler, then the ballers, you know, the money men, the drugs men, the hustlers, everybody, you know, pretty much till today, although the scene has changed. But then I was, you know, like I included other people on the sound, like Major Hype worked for the sound for 5 years, the comedian. You know, after him, I had other people prior to him. That was, you know, in the 2000s. Now I have, you know, it's a guy named Lando from Portmore. He's on the sound. That's presently. And we basically toured the world, you know, all over Japan, Europe, all over the Caribbean, Canada, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And then with the label now, I put out a lot of songs and a lot of one thing I
lot.
learned about having a label, certain songs do well sometimes. It may not even be big in Jamaica, but it does well in, could be Germany, Italy, it could be Japan, it could be Ghana, it could be Nigeria, wherever. There's places around the world that just embrace a certain song. And being that Boro Banton was a top artist in the 80s and he was in the South Bronx in the 90s, me and Boro linked up and we did a lot of great work together. Better than them, Westmoreland Sensi, Take a Set, Washington Session, so forth, so on. And then while I'm doing all these songs, I'm voicing Bounty Killer, Sizzler, Anthony B, Elephant Man, Spraga, Morgan Heritage, Half Pint, Junior Reed, everybody on, because I would always come in the 90s and even to the present day kind of come with 2 rhythm a year, a culture rhythm or a rubber dub rhythm, and then a dancehall rhythm. Then obviously the dancehall rhythm would have more like the Spraggers, the Bounty Killers, the Elephant Mans, the Vibes Cartels, and so forth.
Yeah.
I hit in 95, real big in Jamaica was Suicide or Murder, #1 song. Remixed it in New York with a rapper from Brooklyn, my friend J. Rue the Damager. He was a very big rapper at that particular time. He was more or less under Premier's camp, if you're familiar with Premier Gangstar. He produced a lot of stuff for Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
And that 95, then borrowed Westmoreland Sensi. I found this singer from Spanish Town by the name of Chronicle. He had the big song, My God. Now, some people may not know who Chronicle is, but they may know him now because he's Chronic's daddy. You understand? So he tours with him. You understand? So I knew Chronix when he was a youngster, and so forth. And Chronicle kind of had like a little bit of a Barrington Levy type style, and My God was a big song for him on the sick rhythm. And then I kept voicing tunes. I mean, there's over 500 songs on the label. Cuss Rhythm. I'm linking up King Kong. I remember linking up King Kong voicing them on Dubplate in 91 when I was in England. You know what I'm saying? I was passing through England. And then I linked back with him in 96 or 7, and I came out with the Cuss Rhythm, which is a Roots Radic band, real drum and bass rhythm. You understand? I put Shinehead on it, Anthony B, King Kong, which is a classic especially for the Sound Clash fans. Rumble Jumble Life, big song because nobody can get tenor saw nitty gritty again. So King Kong has the original voice. Then you had, let's see, the big songs were Shinehead, like Tristan Palmer on the rhythm, Shinehead, Anthony B, Burrow, and King Kong. And then a couple weeks later, I voiced Little John on that rhythm. And I continually would, work with foundation artists. I mean, I put the Stalag rhythm out, and I voiced Nicodemus, Susie Wong. You had King Kong, which was really a dub plate of mine. I put it out on 45. Call, Mr. Madden, build me a million coffin. So forth, so on. And then I'm voicing, Sizzler, Jah will never fail, and then all these songs are hitting. Yeah. Some are getting more commercial success than others. Some are hitting in Jamaica. Some are hitting all around the world. Some are maybe just hitting certain parts of the world. Then, like a #1 smash global hit for me was Richie Spice. In the Streets is Getting Hot. The Youth So Cold. #1 song. And you had Carrie Kill on the rhythm. Sizzler, King Kong. The Juggler. It was a big bod rhythm. Richie Spice. Obviously, I had Johnny Osborne on it as well. And then Richie Spice became a #1. Then we came with, I don't know if it was before or after Richie Spice, TOK, Galya Lead. Galya Lead. Hey, yes. And then you had Boro Banton, Money Friend, the Juggling, Bounty Killer on there. Because back then, time they'd voice 10, 15 artists on a rhythm. You drop all of them on 45, rhythm, release a rhythm album and so forth. I mean, so much catalog. Boro Banton, Better Than Them. 2007, Grand Theft Auto. If you're into the gaming, the kids do the gaming. Grand Theft Auto, and then that was big. And then I had a young Rasta artist Chopper on the rhythm, and then you had Massa B Radio, which was on Grand Theft Auto. Bungee Garden. I had a march out rhythm. We used to do in New York that thing called the West Indian Day Parade. Have you ever been to New York, family?
No.
Okay. In New York, you have a thing called the West Indian Day Parade in September. right? It's carnival basically, you know, the takeoff of Trinidad Carnival, so forth. They do it in Brooklyn, right? So me and Jabba did for 10 years, probably from 2001 to 2011, a thing called the Massive B Truck. Now, the Massive B Truck more or less embraced, it was a Jamaican truck, but then it had the streets, like all the youths from the streets, maybe the American kids, this all everybody in the community, you know, because you would have the Haitian truck, you would have the Trinidadian trucks, and so forth, so on. But we were more like a Jamaican street truck. You know, we didn't really have costumes, but we had, if you know what I'm saying, all of the streets,
Yeah.
everybody in the community loved us. So we did the truck for 10 years, and everybody that you can think of been on that truck, even from big soca artists like Marshall Montana to rappers like the rapper, not the reggae Little John, the rapper one. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, we had him on the truck, and Foxy Brown, the rapper. You know, and if you want to see that truck and ever see how the Massive B truck was, we did a song, me and Elephant Man, called "Wave Your Flags." I have to big up Just Cool, the musician, bad young musician, right? It was the rhythm. We called the rhythm the March Out rhythm. Matterhorn was on it, Vibes Cartel, Movado, everybody was on the rhythm. But we did a video of Wave Your Flags, West Indians. Wave your flags them, wave your hands them. Type in Elephant Man, Wave Your Flags, you'll see the Massive B truck. And on that particular year, we had Beanie Man, Spice, and Sean Paul on the truck. It was sick, you know, and it was crazy. And thousands and, you know, thousands and tens of thousands of people following the truck. And, you know, working up basically more recently, I released an album called a rhythm called the About Us rhythm, and that's
Big
featuring,
reading.
you know, that's up to the present. Because obviously there's other hit records in between this time, 2011 Vibes Cartel, Magik Alizi, Ghetto Road, and so forth, so on. But up to the 2020, I just released Vibes Cartel About Us, and named the rhythm About Us rhythm. And you have three younger artists on the rhythm as well.
Yeah.
I always try to help younger artists. I try to help people because I was a young man back in the day, and somebody gave me an opportunity.
True.
So you have all of these three artists, though, it's funny, are from the Portmore community of Jamaica, the Waterford community, which is Cartel's community. It just worked out that way. Diamond Treasure just released the other day. Friend Enemy, Cheddar Boss Watch It, who's presently in Brooklyn, and Cyclone, who just was in Jamaica, Never, who's actually built his album charted on Billboard. And that's doing great. It's a dancehall rhythm, like a real dancehall rhythm, you know?
Yeah.
As you know,
It's
dancehall.
with a
And
big vibe.
yeah, and then as well, I released a hip hop song on a like English drill beat. And who made the drill sound big in Brooklyn is Pop Smoke. So it's with Junior Reed. It's called Bagalat,
Bagalots.
featuring Skrilla,
Yeah.
who's a Brooklyn rapper, a young Brooklyn rapper, and a Cheddar Boss. Okay, and that's basically my most recent projects. Now, anybody that know Bobby Konders or Massive B know that I'm an original roots rock reggae dude, a rubber dub dude. I love when the artists sing around the sound. When I used to keep a lot of my dances back in the day, I would always have the artists come, you know, like Johnny Osborne, Burro Banton, Chronicle, Shinehead, whoever's in New York, Bling Dog, Major Mackerel, whoever was in New York at the time, come this touch the mic, you know, even back in the day, Cartel would come to our parties or whatever, and so forth, when he used to be in Brooklyn. And you know, I mean, if you're really into the rubber dub cultural thing, you'll know about the even if not the dancehall thing, you know about the cultural songs I put out. Say like for Chesedek,
Yeah.
you know, I put an album out for him called Inner the Road that Green Sleeves put out. I produced that album. We did videos, song called Call Upon Them, Inner the Road, Inner the Road. Some real rubber dub vibes because I love that era. You know, that's the era I grew up in, going to dance, seeing artists DJ and sing around the sound. You know, like I remember in the 80s going to dances, seeing Danny Dreadlocks select for King Addy's sound in Brooklyn, and I would see Supercat and Burro Banton and them kind of artists, you know, DJ around the sound. So I put a lot of cultural music out in that aspect as well. So, and that's how, with the dub plate thing now, I'm just a youth that just loved the dub plate thing and grew up around it. You know, basically in the 90s, early 90s when I started, it's like either you were a Clash sound or a juggling sound. And I was never this into the yo pussy who go suck out your mother and ray. That was just never my thing. You know, I could talk shit. I'm a street dude, but I just love the culture more than this hearing the MC cuss, and then he play a song for 10 seconds. I didn't give a fuck about that. You know, I just thought it took away from the music. And a lot of times I voice dub plates with some artists that aren't even here, and I wouldn't necessarily change the lyrics to make it a Clash dub. I would just voice it as the original way and include Massive B or Massive Sounds or whatever, just so I could play the artist on dub plate. But we played in a lot of hardcore dances back in the 90s, and we had a draw for some of them kind of songs. And then when it came to me with the Quarantine Clash, you know, I just said, you know what, let me, you know, this is before all this Clash thing started. This is when the COVID-19 corona fuckery, they locked down New York, locked down the world or whatever. And they came to me, Wash Your Fire and Warrior Son, yo, Bobby, you know, love for you to Clash Jazzy T, Ray, the big Jamaican juggling sound versus Massa B, the New York sound. So I said, are we juggling or we clashing? And then next thing, and I see the flyer and it says, Clash. Well, I got tuned. Don't get fucked up. I got tuned and I got artists you can't find. And I was hanging with these artists back in the day and I'm good with them. Nicodemus, Dennis Brown, all these artists I used to be around. You know what I'm saying? And I just voiced them and I always had them on deck. I didn't realize I had, when I was just more recently, because I just started more recently, I says, yo, start lining up the foundation and looking at I said, blood clot, yo, I got some terrible music here. You know, like sick, like, you know what I'm saying? And from Horace Andy to Marcy Griffiths to Alton Ellis, Super Cat, Daddy Uroy, Ken Booth, Mighty Diamonds, Silver, yo, I just, you know what I mean? But I voiced it, I just loved it, loved the ear and loved that. And that's just, you know, what I got into, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's what I did. And, you know, maybe I'll take some more clashes on or whatever. And, you know, I could have fun with it, see, because I'm at a point, whereas back in the day, I might have been hot-headed.
Yeah.
You know, but as you get older as a man and you mature and you understand and you learn more things about life, you know, you're not as temperamental. And I would just say one thing that really helped me understand that even more is I have a 23-year-old daughter, good kid, college graduate, but I have an 11-year-old highly functioning autistic child. And I learned more about patience, and I also learned more about having to teach him words can never hurt you. Words can't hurt you. You know, if they come and touch you, that's when you pick up a rock and you hit him in the head and defend it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Because he may not be lyrically as quick to spit it out. And this autistic children, sometimes every case is different. 1 + 1 is 2. There's no gray area. Like if I tell him I'm going to do something and then don't do it, and they say, well, I got caught up with work, he don't want to hear that. Oh, you lied to me. You know what I'm saying? So he live in a real straightforward world. And he's 11 now. That's my G. But I had to learn probably patience, you know, and then also learn that ultimately I tell this to any kid in the world. If anybody ever just talks, you know, junk to you, smack to you, or shit to you, or whatever, it only bothers you if you let them. Yeah. If you let it bother you. Yeah. You understand? True. So if you don't let it bother you, and as long as they don't come up and touch you and grab you, laugh them off. Tell them to go fuck off and keep it moving. Yeah. You know, so I mean, it's life, man. Life is ever learning. You know what I mean? And I would think we try to better ourselves as human beings and people. Yeah. You know, but back to the music, it's like I just love the music. You know, I love reggae dancehall. I got a million rhythms sitting. I wish records were still selling like they were one day, because it was so much more fun and it was easier to make an income when the records were selling. Now with the streaming, you got to get your songs on streaming sites, and you may not know who these people are. They're not in our community. You don't see them in dances. The people on Spotify, they're not in our community. They're not in the reggae dancehall community. They don't go to parties. These are people with suit and ties on that happen to have a good job, and it's just a whole nother fuckboy world, part of my English. So Big Deal, talk to me, man. It's a Bobby Konders story in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so that's a very long story. You have a very long history. And I want to ask you, when you're starting out, who are your earlier influences when it came to the music?
From a producer standpoint, I always loved Sly and Robbie because they did so much different music. People don't realize they did disco music, they did funky hip hop music, and all kind of music. So I love them. And then obviously, there's other musicians around the world because I like so many various forms of music. And DJs, I mean, I love the early sounds. You know, I used to listen to the cassette tapes of Volcano Sound and Gemini Sound and, you know, so forth, you know, original dancehall sounds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In Brooklyn, I would go check out like I said, a King Addies, but then I would go check out the juggling dances in the 80s with Afrique Sound with Jagga B. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Super Claude and Jagga B. So, you know, and then when it came to house music, I liked a guy named Tony Humphries. I thought he was great. And hip hop, I mean, I grew up listening to Red Alert and Chuck Chill Out. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Magic and so forth. So I mean, if you lived in New York, you was hearing so much kinds of music. It's like a block party. Everything plays.
Yeah, so tell me a bit about Massive B, Legacy. You did the first one.
The first one was the end of 2018, and that was just a lot of my big songs that I produced. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go look, see if I remember the songs that were on that one. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Massive B, Legacy. Here we go. What I released 2018, 2019. Massive B, Legacy. Where's it at here? B Classics Mastered. Let me see. What did I have on that one? Oh, here we go. Master B. Masters Volume 1. Okay, your Suicide Murder, which I spoke about earlier. Burrow, Battered in Them. These are classics from early 90s. Some of the biggest songs, like all them songs I mentioned, and I had a Vibes Cartel song I didn't really release, and I remixed it and put it on a current rhythm, What You Selling, and that was 2018. But then you had Sizzler, Jah Will Never Fail, I Rumble Jumble Life, Richie Spice, Youth So Cold, Elephant Man, Wave Your Flags, Chronicle, My God, all these songs I spoke about, Chesedek, Call Upon Them, Burrow, Bounty, and so forth. So it's just like some of the biggest songs, and this kind of to let the younger generation know that Master B is current, but it's also foundation. And we do dancehall, but we do rub-a-dub reggae, and we've been doing it with the icons. And we're doing it with the icons from when the things start, you know, over 25 years ago and up to the present, and we're still relevant, you know, and we're volume 2. That was volume 1, and I'm going to release volume 2 sometime this year. I didn't release it. I pushed it back because I'm just going through some distribution situations. And volume 2 is this more, let me see the back cover. Volume 2 is going to have Vibes Cartel, About Us. I'm going to put a couple more new songs on it as opposed to the last one. I only put one new song. Then you're going to have Shabba Ranks, One Man, Junior Reed, Bubbler, Make Your Waistline Roll, Sprague Benz, Caddy, Elephant Man, Busta Blank, Ra, Busta Blank, Ra. Then you Susie Wong, Nicodemus, Burrow Banton, Take a Set, Half Pint, Can You Feel It? Winner Takes It All. Sizzler, Give Jah Thanks and Praise, off of the Truth and Rights Rhythm. Bounty Killer, Mr. Tyrion Boar. And then you had Vibes Cartel, Me Get Gal Easy, Damn Me. Wow, that song was voiced over 9 years ago. It's crazy. And then I have a Shaggy song. As long as I can get the clearance, I'm going to put that on there as well because, you know, it's a song from Shaggy in the early 90s. Just, you know, because he's part of the legacy, you know? Yeah. And that'll be Legacy 2 sometime this year, you know? Yeah. Because actually I got a Vibes Cartel dropping on the Bag Alert beat too, on the hip hop beat.
Oh, okay.
Vibes Cartel with Lisa Mercedes and Sicker Rhymes.
Okay.
So, but Vibes True dropped his album, and I got the About Us song out right now. I'm just gonna chill before I release that.
Okay.
You know, but I got a lot of work, yo. This Corona lockdown situation made me go back into the studio and put some work in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also I remember back in the day, they would have a lot of great long distance runners from Kenya.
Yeah, still up to
In the
now.
Olympics.
Yeah, up to now. Yeah.
Come on, son. What are you saying, son? I know about Kenya, son. You ain't telling me nothing.
Yeah, so Bobby, let's go on with the show. And we just talked about sound system and how it's changing from then to now. What do you think about that? Because there were sound system. Yeah.
Music is a youth-driven business, even from production to sound system. Like I said, I love the original dancehall sound. I love the original rubber dub sound. Kids are gonna change the direction. Kids wear tight pants. I don't wear tight pants. Them pants are tighter than my daughters. Some of what the boys wear now. But that's what they want to wear. I ain't into that. You know, but I embrace the young culture, because if not, you sound like an old man and you sound bitter. Youths are gonna do what they want to do. Me, I wish they still strung up real sound system. I got a big sound. During this Corona thing, I redid my whole sound. Crazy big sound, 18-inch scoop box, everything. I fixed everything. We had it because we keep a party. Master B playing on Sundays in Brooklyn since '94. We keep a party called Fire Sundays for 15 years in the heart of Brooklyn. We had the building it was mainly at for 15 years got sold. We had to move it to another venue in Bed-Stuy. We string up our sound every Sunday and put it in there. So I love the original sound. I love the original big bass box, you know, the real yard sound, you know, but a lot of parties today have amp-driven, power-driven speakers, so forth, so on. So I just like to see the big box, and I'm from that era. So it is what it is. You know, you move with the times and you try to stay relevant so you can provide for your family, you know, because if you're just going to be stuck in the era, you'll get left out the game, because the game changes, you know?
True. Yeah, so you also talked about the clashing and how you are not so into clashing, but I know you have a very deep dub box.
Yeah.
And I would like to hear some of the exclusives that we've never heard of dub songs.
You might have heard them, but I'm going to play a couple big songs right here. I voiced this song. I had the pleasure of meeting this artist in Jack Scorpio's studio, probably 94, 5, somewhere in there. 3, I can't remember. And we voiced the dub plate, probably in Junior Reed's studio. And this is the Vice of Garnet Silk, so some people might be familiar with his name.
Massive sound run things every time, man. Nobody can just dig up yourself, man. Jabba don't worry yourself, man. Garnet Silk with the silky voice, man. For the Bobby Konders sound. Massive sound every time. We've come a long way.
Big deal.
We've come a long way.
Big deal.
Yes.
Hey.
Watch this. No sound, no sound, no sound, no sound, no sound can defeat us. No sound can defeat us. Massive is dangerous. No one can stop us from running down.
Pull it.
No sound can stop us from running down.
Big deal, find that one, big deal. Big deal, find that one.
We're the best in music. Oh, it's like magic. The word no massive is the best. And so they've got to admit, no sound can defeat us. No sound can defeat us. Massive is dangerous. No one can stop us surrounding them.
Yo, Garnet Silk.
Vice of Garnet Silk, the silky one, the original. So, I mean, I could go, oh my God, we could be here all day, fam, no disrespect.
You don't have the whole day. So just give me something of 5 more, something
Couple
exclusive.
more now, man. I think you're gonna enjoy this one. I think you'll enjoy this one. I'm not even gonna call the artist's name.
Massive sound, the original sound, massive sound.
Vice of Borough Banton on the intro. Some people don't really pre the intros. You understand? I got some dubs where Nicodemus is doing the intro, but this is the vice of Burro Banton introducing the Crown Prince.
The original sound man. Run things in a New York, Jamaica, England. Anywhere you go, massive sound room. Step up Dennis Brown and deal with them kids.
Do you know what it means to taste the champion sound? And what it takes to give a little sound? Trying to taste the message. But massive yes in God toys you down. Pull up down.
Vice of Dennis Brown.
Forward.
Crown Prince. Vice of Junior One Blood Reach Studio as well. All right.
Do you know what it means to taste the champion sound? And what it takes to give a little sound. Trying to taste the message. But massive yes in God toys you down. Pull up down, yeah.
Not a mouse.
Her boy, three the hard way. Sanchez, Cobra,
Just there before the
Ninja.
who's this from the outside? I gotta big up Bobby and Jabba, need not say no more. Sanchez, some more like just gone, just gone, just gone.
Yeah, man, a good argument for me. Let's just
Send them home. Send them home.
I don't wanna say, big up the youth like Mighty Cover on my right hand side. I don't know if you
Yeah.
massive song. Hey, listen. Oh, there are lots of sounds in life, some that you may not like. You could be living this minute, next minute you're gone away. Hold up your head now, massive sound. Be conscious, no massive sound.
Yes.
Cause by the works you shall surely be paid.
Cobra.
Well, they gon' get from me a word. Bad man go down your man no pussy yard. Direct a boy life go down at the bar. They from the market and up in a graveyard. Why you be scared? The camera a gun garage. Why you take record of his Scotland yard? So be the guys of why shut up.
Sanchez again. Sing.
And I'm in front of a tell the sun. Me will up on the rhythm of me now. I'm gonna let go.
What a bad boy DJ. What a real bad man DJ. Ninja.
Oh, wicked dub.
You know I'm have to play my artist. My family. The Browns family.
Massive B kill you today and we'll kill you tomorrow. These are the original Burro Banton with Jabba and Bobby Konders. The original Massive B sound. The years, man. It goes so.
Original Rockstone Vice.
Massive B. Hey, Ribby Bong, Ribby Bong, King, hey, Ribby Bong, King, come bang, Ribby Bong, King, hey, no matter about me brown, judge and low, say me black, me slim, me tell them Burro Banton no fat, me deep.
Yeah, I'm gonna see a way side blind. I know me I shouldn't say just so. Bobby and Jabba just bless up, never sizzle and just say that. That's my night, Jabba.
Well, I take it to the roots.
Look
to the rubber dub vibes. Nobody vices dub like this.
Look, I'm getting confusion. I swear to God.
Listen this.
Now, you know. Oh, yeah. My children of men. How long will do me every part to tell this number best?
Sarah Massa got a dub. Sizzle a clungy. Massive B.
Praise is Jah, Holy Emperor, must be you and the King of Kings. To a fullness, to express that I got proceed to give you what you need, New York.
This is Puff Daddy on the intro alongside Busta Rhymes.
Proceed to give you what you need, New York. This is Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, and it's all about Massive B.
Understand, this is Busta Rhymes, so I need everybody's attention.
Oh, yeah.
My niggas Massive B. Make a nigga wanna stop. Don't this shit make a nigga wanna
Listen to me. We could be here all day.
Yo.
All day. It's only right.
There's no other answer to it than the sound of massive sound.
Original Junior Reed.
Yeah.
Waterhouse.
Ain't it a sound boy? You come from the country or the city? Don't diss my sound. No. Don't diss my sound. You could have come from Rima or you come from jungle. Could have come from Firehouse or you come from Tower. It's one sound, not a massive sound.
Yeah, man, me I tell you, man, so Demus alongside Half Pint, man. On the massive sound. See?
Half Pint alongside Nicodemus.
Self. Rhythm track
I
already.
feel like I can't leave some of these artists out.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like I'm disrespecting my dumb box.
Beat reggae music every time. Give them.
I want you learn.
Hey.
Play by number one champion,
You
number
live
one
the
champion.
life you love. You love the life you live.
Tell them Half Pint.
So it's reggae every time.
Get a ready. Play by the... Play by songs called Bobby Konders. Songs called Madison International.
Massive sound crew.
Oh.
And rock up a fit too. We agree. I break
Konders.
from ya out ya to us.
Where the original rhythm writer?
Original.
Daddy Demus, Nico.
Legend, Edema. Riding a town, we come to riding a town. Never down. Riding a town, we come to riding a town. Because you know massive sound is the roughest thing around. There's some son boy you see them can't see my neck them town. You know say Bobby Konders and a job around the town with the massive sound killing every idiot sound around. Second me say Demus, you are the king pan the town. We better kill them off.
Well, Bobby, the world should know that little punk is a thief, and they should see everywhere I'm going to show them teeth. And my tab with my ball, they want a piece of both from the east. Now, mercy, when it's on the big fat massive sound, he's a jumper.
Juggle a couple songs. Let's juggle a couple songs, big deal.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The walls of peace who them can't win the war. No, them get what them been asking for. When massive papa, them big get the last. Go far beyond the stars, Mr. Punk, you're wrong for your oxygen.
Killer.
He used to say I'm his idol. No, he wanted to be my rival. Is it me sound like him, or him sound like me? You're wrong for your oxygen.
That's originally. Because
Hear me out of Shabba.
Listen.
gunman a killer them a draw nilo. We will finger on the trigger, boy, pray not go blow. If you want to see what go bend down low, be a gunshot in your head that a go. We a bust it gun on them, pick up shell. We a fight it gun on them, pick up shell. We a bust it gun on them, pick up shell. We a fight it gun on them, pick up shell.
Chronicle.
Massive sound, yes, you run the dance hall. Hey, in the name of the Lord, massive sound, look. Hey. That's how you get the beat. Yeah, this is Fancy Levy, and it's all about the ganja man. So you
I play Chronicle, I must play Mr. Levi, right? I must play Mr. Levi, right?
Right.
I'm an herbalist. Yeah, I'll leave you with one more after this.
I from Mr. Brown, massive beat on and I'm burning ganja pipe. Babylon, come and tell me that's not right. Must have me burning and for it and right. And then them coming and them people mommy and them said, hey, not the dreadlocks, so where you come from? You must have two stickers and six under your thumb. I said, no, officer, Lord, you must be mad. He only smoke cigarettes and strictly shot. Oh, whoa.
All of my herbalists.
Whoa.
Big up Mr. Levi.
Whoa.
But who's the bad boy Indian DJ?
Special dedication to the man called Bobby Konders. Respect to the song called Massive Soul, the company
He's
called
the bad man Indian DJ from Cockburn Pen. Super Cat.
And them always a pose up like them think them can't test me. Bobby, always a pose up and they know that them we dead and them we buried. Lord God. Always a pose up like them think them can't test me. Leader, man them all.
And the Dan and Super Cat, right?
Yeah. Hear it. Because all we them boy and all we them boy and all we. We are not pay up on a guy can't fool we. Traffic jam and stop light it not all we. Come it.
Yo, massive me. Yo, watch them, you know. Watch what clapping in the wind. Yo, watch them, watch them, watch them. Watch them, Bobby Konders. Watch them.
Don't feel like his old songs alone we have.
Yo, massive me.
Oh.
Everybody run your reel. Watch it coffee them.
Oh.
Them a clap when you're dead. Them a coffee friend.
Oh.
No matter what you do, them say you never do for them.
Yeah.
Them no rate us. So what them a do yesterday. We know one none of them fool if you rate us. Now I give you one.
You know why? You know why?
Yeah.
You know why? Because we do it for the love.
Yeah.
We don't do it for the looks, the likes, the views.
Yeah.
We vice these things, carry these cassettes, carry the 45s on the road because we love the music, we love the culture, respect the culture, and love the artists them.
Yes.
So,
and yeah, it's all for the love. All for the love, Bobby.
So that's just a little sample of a couple songs out of the Massive B box.
And I know you can go on and on and on.
Oh, miss my doctor's appointment.
But Bobby, how come you never did Clash?
No, like we were so booked out, right? And that takes a whole nother different mindset. Jabba's a party MC. Jabba's a promoter. Jabba do him thing. You understand?
Yeah.
And back then, I was producing so much and we were working so much. And then, you know, with other things in life and other business, it's like we just never went down that lane. Like I said, in New York, we played in all them the hardcore dances. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why the other day I just said, yo, you know what? May I just do this quarantine thing. I don't need no MC. The thing done gone where gone. The business gone where gone. People know me. And I'm gonna do me. And like, cause when I go to dance or whatever, I always have like a dance hall MC, you know, hey, what my God, I'm skin out, hey, boy, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the Clash thing, more or less, instead of just screaming and them vibes, giving some intelligence, some history of the dub plate, and have fun with it and some jokes and so forth. So. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, basically, to answer your question, we was always booked out and I was producing so much, Jabba's was doing his thing and, you know, so forth, so on, you know?
But
that's why I took the quarantine clash to let all y'all know what time it is, son. No.
But I hope the next generation of Massive B is going to do something with the dubs.
Well, I tell you, the dub plates have allowed me to tour the world. Because them dub plates, like, people book the sound around the world and they want to hear them. And I played them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just where the thing gone. You know, it wasn't, you know, like when I go to Europe and them places back in the day, we would use run all of them dub plates because the people wanted to hear them. In the juggling, and so forth. You know, it's a different generation now. They don't really, today's dancehall generation don't really want to hear dub plates like that. They're more into fashion, you know.
Yeah.
But back then, in Brooklyn and around the world, dub plates would play and dance. And, you know, we got to feature them and so forth, you know. And maybe we'll do some more clashes, more current clashes or whatever, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Or just around the world. And you know, because it was a good look the other day, and from an entertainment standpoint, and really a lot of people enjoyed it, you know. So see what happens. You know what I mean?
So I know everybody is home right now with a quarantine and COVID thing, and people are coming online and doing the things online. And just yesterday and a few couple of nights, Khalid has been also flexing his dub box. So what do you think about that? And
I think everybody embraces reggae dancehall culture. Yeah. I think it's love. Big up DJ Khaled. Big up anybody that supported the music, put money into the business, help support people, help the business grow. DJ Khaled playing some dancehall dub plates or even reggae hip hop dub plates brings attention to the music.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. DJ Khaled probably is one of the most noticed hip hop DJs in the world. You know what I'm saying? He's doing commercials, you know, and he has a great platform. And for him, you know, he grew up around it. He knows Bourgeois, he knows Bounty Killer, he knows Capleton. I mean, you know, Jabba brought him back in the day to play in the dance in New Jersey. So we all know each other. We know Khaled when he was skinny. That's how long we know Khaled. We knew Khaled before, like early days when he was on pirate radio. So Khaled's. I don't talk to him that much, but I mean, like when I see him, it's all love. He's a good guy, and I'm happy for his success, and that he still embraces the reggae dancehall culture.
So, looking at the evolution of the industry, in terms of sound system and also the production and record label, where do you see it going? And what's the opinion
Wherever the
on
youths
the
take it,
changes?
wherever the youths take it, you know what I'm saying? It's a youth-driven business. Trends and things can go quickly, and then sometimes they can stay here for a minute. So it's really up to the youths them. I know globally, there's other forms of music people have gravitated to other than maybe with the current dancehall that's going on today. Afro beats has gotten very big. EDM is very big. Latino reggaeton is very big within their own culture. So, I mean, I think reggae, one drop reggae, will always be here and have somewhere a place for it globally. And dancehall will have its ups and downs depending on the success of what's coming out of Jamaica and so forth. I always think there'll be some dancehall DJs that want to hear the original dancehall sound, and hence, that's kind of the direction I went with Vibes Cartel on About Us, and then as well as just the lyrical content of the current situation in America, which been happening for hundreds of years with the police brutality and the police killings of black men in America, and generally done by white police, racist police, and that was the kind of a theme of that song. They don't give a fuck about us. We don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about us. You know what I'm saying? With Vibes Cartel, the police boy buzz gunshot. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. So, but I think ultimately music's a youth-driven business, and we'll see where the youths take it.
And you also mentioned something about how you grew up in the projects. You didn't have a place to stay, and because of your background, you also tried to bring up the upcoming artists.
Yeah, well, I like when I was with my mother and father, I had places to stay. I had like great parents, hardworking people. When I made moves, I didn't really have nobody around, so I had to find a place to stay. And that's hence different places. Couch, if you have a friend, you stay on the couch, live there for a while, so forth, so on. I didn't really have no family, around. With me, I just have a responsibility of projecting hopefully a good image for the younger generation. I have children. I want to show people that good, love over hate. But if you have to defend yourself, take care of yourself, but then also put hard work in. Put hard work in. You can't drive through McDonald's and get it. You need to put work in. Yeah. From what I see today's generation, because the computer gives you so many things so fast, they don't have to put the work in, say the way my generation did, because we would have to go to record stores and use all our money to buy a record. You know what I'm saying? It's different, and it's okay. It's okay because they did not live that. They did not experience that. So I understand that, but still understand hard work is a great something to have within yourself. If you understand that there might be hills and valleys, but if you put the hard work in, maybe you can overcome and have the success. And nothing beats hard work and a good attitude. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, and then for me with the younger artists, I mean, if I got a Vibes Cartel on the rhythm, I could, by putting other younger artists on the rhythm, I'm getting them exposure.
Yeah.
Because most people will play the cartel and they say, yo, you know what? Maybe not in a dance, but on the radio or on my mix or on my Instagram live, I want to juggle the rhythm. And that's where a Cyclone, a Cheddar Boss, a Diamond Treasure get that exposure. And we all come from somewhere. Somebody, a lot of times in life, we don't make it on our own. Somebody lifted us up. So, like I said, I try to help a lot of different artists. Some people, you may not get the bust off of the song we did, but at least you got some exposure, and maybe it's a building block.
Yeah.
And you just, taking that step forward.
Yeah. So I will link you back up, and I need to let you go. You have to exercise with your son. You need to.
Yep.
You don't have to.
I gotta get my yo, big deal. I'm not a young boy, but I move like a young boy. So to keep that young boy spirit and that heart, I gotta go make sure I get my exercise.
Yeah, and you also have the doctor's appointment.
Exercise, because see me, big deal. I burn the high grade and drink the Hennessy, you know. So we have to make sure we stay fit, you know.
Yeah,
I got my son's mom is younger than me. I have to make sure we take care of her good, you know.
Yo, Bobby.
Let me see. Let me see if we got the. Do we have it here? Oh, see, and we always got the loud on deck. You know that good. You know, we always got that good.
Mm-hmm.
Indoor, outdoor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nice. You can't smell it, but you can see it.
Yeah.
And it look good. See, it look good. Where we at here? It look good. I don't want to get you in trouble in Nigeria. I don't know how the weed thing is over there.
Yeah, no, it's not illegal, but we do it too.
Oh, okay. Well, here, yo, family, the link seemed like a good link, you know.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? You know, I got you locked in my phone, and we build and see where it goes.
True.
So with that being said, I'm gonna touch the streets. I want to big up everybody in Kenya, in the country of Kenya, in Nairobi, in the city of Nairobi, as well as in the continent of Africa, or wherever in the world, because this thing can be seen from people all over the world.
Yeah, true.
Massive B, holla at the kid. Good over evil, love over hate, big deal. Let's do it.
Bless. So, Bobby, give thanks, and I know we'll link up again, so I'll let you go. Thank you for the link, and I will catch up again later.
Thank you, my brother. Be safe, yo. Have a good day.
You too, brother. Bless.
Love.
Listen me, you know this is Bass here, I represent for the Big Deal Sound. Hear me now? The real deal sound from Africa. I know straight out of Compton, Big Deal straight out of Africa. The motherland, hear me now, man? I know sound better than. Yo, warm to them.